Hi, I think that's me live again. I'm trying again, and this time I'm using my mobile phone, which I seem to get on better with. Yes, this seems to be working. Okay, so I will not be defeated. Here I am. I will go live. I have made this new commitment to myself to get this Facebook group up and running again. I mean, it was very busy and very active back along, and it's absolutely going to be again. And like I said the other day, I'm now much more settled here in the Forest of Dean, and so it's really important that I use energy to create the life here, which is actually really exciting, and this is a big part of it. So things are settling down, and I'm gearing up again, got my mojo back, and all well. So what did I want to talk about today? The first thing actually what I wanted to say was thank you, a big thank you to the people who have really supported me over the last couple of years. Many of you know all the things that have gone on, and I know we've all had lots of things that have gone on, but many of you followed my story, helped me, supported me, and kind of like just were there for me, and I just want you to know that that is hugely, hugely appreciated. I'm not going to mention any names, but you know who you are, and lots of people helped in lots of different ways and lots of different levels. And yeah, you know who you are, and I'm hugely appreciative. So having said that, what next? Well, yeah, the world's moved on a lot in the last year and a half, hasn't it? Forwards and backwards, upside down, roundabout. I think more and more people are cottoning on to the fact that this has got a lot more going on behind the scenes than appears on the surface. And while I talked a lot about that in my previous videos, which are all still there to be seen, and I was going back over some of them the other day and reposting stuff to my YouTube, because I did open a YouTube channel last year, and obviously it's not been very active either. So I kind of fiddled my way around that and figured out how to post vids. But yeah, I did a lot of work in this, and I talked a lot about the process of the transition and how, while on a physical level there is absolute chaos and mayhem going on, and lots of people suffering big time, and a lot more suffering to come. There's no doubt about that. But there's also been something going on the other dimension, and I believe that while we're all having to deal with the physical upheaval, that it's because there is a whole rebirth going on in terms of the spiritual development and transition that we're all dealing with. And as many of you who know me, have listened to me, and have worked with me over the years, you know that I have a very firm belief in the fact that we're all spiritual beings having a physical experience. I've done a lot more work in that recently. I've been working a lot with a guy called Michael Mirdad, who you can find on YouTube. He has got so much really, really good stuff. And if Yalta is listening, as I'm sure you will be at some point, Yalta, I know that you have become a follower of Michael Mirdad as well. And I love his attitude, I love his approach, I love his humour, I love his self-deprecation, and I love his incredibly deep spiritual wisdom. And I've learned a lot from him, and continuing to do so. And he talks a lot about this concept of the fact that we're all spiritual beings, and really the entire physical reality as we know it is actually an illusion. And I love that. I love that whole thing, although it does take a lot of working with for us mere mortals, because we are mere mortals, even though we're also these highly evolved spiritual beings. But going on from that, I love this concept of why we need to look after the body, and I'm also fascinated by the concept and the addiction that people have, if that's not too strong a word, but the attachment's probably a better word. Attachment to age, attachment to how old people are, how well we're aging, how badly we're aging. You see all these utterly gross things pop up on Facebook about, oh, look at so-and-so famous Hollywood superstar, and look what she looks like now, my God. And it's like, well, hey-ho, God love her, she's committed the sin of getting older and not actually managing too well to preserve her beautiful looks. God love her. And there's a lot of that, you all know what I mean. So we're all aware of that. So, as you know, I also write articles for Insight magazine in Gibraltar, and the last one that I wrote, I called The Grace of Agelessness. And this is something that I have been working a lot on and getting excited by over the recent months as well. And the grace of agelessness is basically recognising that we are ageless. So when somebody says to you, what age are you? You say, oh, I don't have an age. I am. I'm a spirit being. And therefore I'm ageless. I don't have an age. Oh, my body. My body's been around for X amount of years. So my body don't have an age. And, oh, people kind of go, oh, my goodness, that's an interesting one. But when you explain it, they love it. Of course people love it because none of us like getting older. And so we love this idea of the fact that perhaps we can totally change our perception in this. And, you know, guys, you can totally change your perception in it, because the reality is that your spirit has been around for a long, long, long time, and it's going to be around for a lot longer. And it needs a body to live in while it's having this journey. So it will go on more lifetimes and will have been around many lifetimes. But it needs a body to live in while it's having those lifetimes. And so it comes into your body. And however long it inhabits that body is however, you know, whatever age the body actually has. Now, that is not to say that we don't need to look after our bodies, because we absolutely do. So it's very, very important that we take care of the body, that we do exercise, that we eat properly, that we treat this body of ours as perfection, because your body is perfection. Regardless of your wobbly bits and your wonky bits and the bits that don't match and all these kind of things, we all have those. That's called being a human being and having a human body. But apart from any of that, put that all to one side, you are an absolutely perfect being and your body is perfect. Don't judge your body. Learn, if you do judge your body, and we all do, then stop judging and learn to love. Learn to love and take care of your body and recognise it for the amazing job that it's doing, taking care of your spirit. So of course it's really important to look good and to feel good and to keep your body in tip-top condition, because it has a really, really important job to do. What you have to be careful of is that you recognise the job that it's doing, and that you don't think that as a means to an end to go to the gym or to eat well or to do this or to do that in order to have this body beautiful and therefore feel less dreadful about yourself than you've already been feeling, and try to keep the years at bay. Because you can't. You can only keep them in the best possible condition, because your spirit deserves that. And once you get your head round that, it's an incredibly empowering concept, and it's an incredibly positive way to approach the future. And that does not mean for 1 minute that you don't look in the mirror and think, oh no, I didn't really see that, let's move on. Of course you'll do that, but then you just have to go, oh, sorry about that. That was a foolish thought that I had there. And then you can do the Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Do you all know that one? It's fabulous. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. But I'll talk more about that Ho'oponopono little verse in a future live, because that's not what I was about today. So I mentioned the other day that I've got a whole series of webinars that I'm about to do, and the first one I'm going to do actually is on grace and agelessness, which is why I decided to have a talk with you about that today. So I'm not sure exactly when. I'm probably going to run it maybe towards the end of next week, because I'm really mojo bitten at the moment and I just really need to get out there and get things up and running. So the concepts I've talked about just now, I'm going to be dealing with that in the webinar. It will run for just over an hour, and there will be no more than 10 people on it, because that way I feel that I can give everybody one-to-one. It will be on Zoom. The price will be £15. It will be on Zoom, and everyone will be able to come with their own questions. I'll be in touch with you beforehand after you've expressed your interest, and we'll have time to go into this in much, much, much greater detail. And believe me, it is super exciting, and there is not one person yet that I've not shared this with that hasn't got really excited about it. And also, the further along your spiritual path you are, the more you'll be able to get your head around it very quickly. And if you're new to your spiritual path, believe me, this is the one that will actually spur you on there quicker than you can have any idea. On that happy note, I'm going to go now. I'm down to 10% battery, and I'm not going to dive down there and get the battery charger like what I usually do. I'm going to just say thank you ever so much for joining me. Please either direct message me or put some messages in the comment thread. And if you are interested in taking up the special offer for readings that I've offered for the month of September, well then again, either put a message in the thread, or if you'd rather stay completely private, then please feel free to private message me, asking me any questions that you'd like to ask me. So I will be coming live again very soon. Since I've been in UK over this, and committed to being here over the last few months, I joined a jive class. So I've been jiving twice a week, and tonight there is a social dance on quite nearby, and I'm going jiving. So that's super exciting. I'm absolutely loving it. It is just sheer joy. Love it to bits. And yeah, so all good stuff. And I shall catch up with you all again very, very soon. So have a fabulous Saturday evening. Have a glorious Sunday. And I'll be live again during the week. Take care now. Lots of love. Bye.